Okay, now I'm going to share with you a really beautiful, simple stretch routine that I'd love you to get into the habit of doing every single morning. So as soon as you get out of bed, this is what you need to do. So let's pretend you are in bed. So what I would like you to do is bring your legs to the side of the bed, making sure the feet and knees are hip distance apart. And then from here, sitting up tall, we're just softening the ribs, drawing the tummy to spine. We're going to hinge forward. We're squeezing into the bottom and pressing through the heels. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press into those heels and come all the way up. Now, just bring yourself away from the bed, take a nice deep breath in, bring the arms up and exhale as you bring the arms all the way down. Let's go again. Inhale, really fill the lungs up. Exhale and bring it all the way back down. And one more, inhale and exhale. Bring the arms all the way back down. Then what I'd like you to do is stand nice and tall. Take your right foot slightly forward so the heel is level with the toes on the left foot. We're going to keep the spine lengthened, ribs soft, and all I want you to do is hinge from the hips forward. Spread the sit bones wide and then come all the way back up again. Notice that the head is staying nicely lengthened, the neck is lengthened as we hinge and come back up. The only movement is from the hips. We're going to exhale as we hinge forward. Inhale, come back up. Really nice straight back. Keep the tummy drawing back towards your spine. Remember not to look up. Just see if you're coming a little bit further each time. Keep the legs straight. So now you should be feeling a stretch running down the glute muscles and into the hamstrings on that right leg. And we're just going to do one more here. And come back up. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So left foot slightly forward, nice and lengthened through the spine. Ribs are soft, hinging from the hips. Exhale. Inhaling, coming back up. Let's go again. Exhale. Just make sure your shoulders are not rolling forward. Remember, the only movement here is through the hips. We're stretching through the glute muscles and into the hamstrings, the back of the thigh. What we're also doing is really working into that interconnected tissue. We're working the fascia as well. And that's why I don't want you tipping the head back. And we're going to do two more here. Make sure you come up nice and tall each time. Notice if there's a difference on one side and the other. And then we'll come all the way back. Now we're going to bring ourselves down onto the floor. If you need a little bit more stability there, use the side of the bed or a chair or something. What we need to do is make sure we've got a nice wide step here. We're keeping the toes facing forward. We've got the front knee over our heel, pelvis is upright, and we're slowly lowering that back knee down as we press into that front heel. Make sure your knee's not traveling forward, really important. Lower yourself down. And then we can bring the other knee behind. Now, remember, use a towel to pop underneath the knees if that feels better for you. We're coming into an all fours position. So we're going to keep the shoulders in their sockets, the breastbone sliding forward and the tummy to spine. Then we're going to come into a cat stretch. Now remember, if it's uncomfortable for you with your hands flat, you can come onto your fists here. Now, all we're going to do is focus on the spine. So pull the tummy to your spine. Start by tucking your tailbone under. Feel the movement going up through your back. You're not moving the shoulders. Scooping out those abs and then draw the shoulder blades apart. Really feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale then. Start to slide your breastbone forward. Hollow your back and take your tailbone to the ceiling. Keep the neck lengthened, don't tip the head back. So keep that length through the neck, shoulders in their sockets. Again, exhale, tuck, round. Really feeling that beautiful stretch into the back. Inhale as you hollow, sliding the breastbone forward, slide the shoulder blades down the back, hollowing out that back. Once more, exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, we're going to slide that breastbone forward. And then just bring the pelvis back into that neutral position. Just little circles with the tailbone. Make sure your head's not dropping. And then the other way. And then we're just going to wag of our tail. So imagine that you're a dog with a tail and just wag your tail from side to side. Make sure you're not hollowing the back, so we're keeping that back lengthened. Then take the knees wide and sit back into your heels, just as low as you can. You might want to use your towel, fold it up, pop your head on it. You might want to even put a cushion between your bottom and your heels. Make sure you're comfortable. Relax your back and shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. Fill up the back and sides of the ribs. Exhale, feel everything soften down. On the next inhalation, taking that breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to walk the hands a little bit further forward and stretch the back. Draw the armpits down. Pull your tailbone down towards the mat. Walk your hands to the left and just feel a lovely deep stretch down that right side of your body. Pull the right armpit down. Pull your right hip bone away. If you would like to, as you exhale, you might want to take it a little bit further round. Make sure your neck and shoulders are relaxed down. This stretch is a side bend stretch. So it's from your armpit to your hip. Walk your hands to center, and then let's take it round to the right. And again, pull that left armpit down. Pull that left hip down to the floor. We're relaxing the neck between the shoulders. On the exhalation, deepening it if we can. Remember, it's a side bend stretch. It's not just stretching the arms here. Walking it back into center. Tuck the tailbone under. Walk your hands back. Restack your spine. We're going to bring ourselves carefully down onto the mat. So what I'd like you to do is just roll onto your side and then gently bring yourself down and then roll onto your back. We're going to come into some hip rolls. Bring your knees and ankles together. Soften the ribs down. Arms out. Relax the shoulders, and then just start with a very gentle little rock of the knees from side to side. And depending how you feel, you can start to increase that range of movement. And then we can start to add in the head and the arms. So as the knees go one way, roll your head in the opposite direction. You can turn your palm so it faces up as you look into the palm, and then turn the palm down as your head turns the other way. Make sure you're not arching your back. Your ribs should not be flaring. Keep those ribs softened down so they glide underneath your hands. And then we're going to bring the knees to center. We're going to lengthen the legs away, lengthen the arms away. Take the arms just into a comfortable position. Take the arms and legs a little bit wider if that feels good for you. Let's reach away with the right arm and the left leg. We're getting this big diagonal stretch. And release. And then left arm and right leg, just as far as it feels good for you. And release. And then just walk the legs back into center and bring the arms down by your side. What I'd like you to do now is to draw your right knee into your chest. Hug it in. Now, if it's difficult to take hold of the calf, just take hold of the back of the thigh. There's always a way to sort things out. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Now, what I'd like you to do is make sure you're not hollowing your back here. So your pelvis should be lying flat, or if you have the flexibility, you can tip your pelvis back. So if you imagine a blueberry underneath your lower back, you're trying to sort of squash it down. This way you should be feeling a deep stretch into your left hip flexors. Lengthen that left leg away as much as you feel you can, pulling that right knee in. Keep your shoulders relaxed down. Gently draw the tummy to spine, nod the chin. And can you bring your forehead to your right knee? You're stretching into the upper back here. Just do it if it feels comfortable. Make sure you haven't tensed those shoulders. Relax them down. Let's gently roll our way back down. We're going to take this right knee across the body using the left hand. Now, make sure your foot's not wafting around. So you have the foot resting on the other leg. You can have it in front of the other leg. You can have it behind, wherever works for you. Keep that right shoulder blade on the floor though. You're getting this lovely twist here. And then gently come back. Let's go on to the other side. So we're going to hug the left knee in as we extend that right leg out. Remember, we want to have the pelvis lying flat. We don't want an arch in the back. Or you can squash your blueberry. Press the lower back down into the floor, really deepening that stretch through the hip flexors. Good. Keep the shoulders relaxed, not the chin. Using those abdominals, bring yourself up, not the shoulders. Remember, keep those down. Bring your forehead to your knee. Stretching into the upper back. Gently lower yourself down. Let's take the knee across the body. So again, that lovely stretch down the side and through the glute muscles here. So that the shoulder, left shoulder staying on the floor. So remember, don't have the leg just wafting around. Have the foot supported somewhere, it doesn't matter where. And then gently draw it back. Now we're going to roll onto our sides. Support your head with your bottom arm. Make sure your head is lined up with your tailbone and your heels. If you pick your heels up, you can line them up with your bottom. What we don't want is the head poking forward. Your knees are stacked, your hip bones are stacked on top of each other. Slide that top hip away. Now, if it's uncomfortable, remember, use your towel, pop it underneath the hips. We want to feel that the spine is in a straight line. We don't want it dropping down that dip. So keeping that spine nice and level. We're coming into a side lying open door. Imagine the string running from your nose to your thumb. Start by taking the arm up to the ceiling. At this point, the only movement is coming from your rib cage, not your shoulder. So shoulder stays sunk down, armpit pulling down, and then we move from the rib cage only. That bottom arm is staying on the floor. Just go back as far as you feel comfortable. Make sure your hips haven't rocked. Make sure your knees haven't lifted. And then we'll exhale and come back. Inhaling, checking at the top that we move from the rib cage, opening up the arm, and exhale and come back. And we're going to do one more. Inhaling as we open and exhaling as we come back. You might want to roll over. I'm going to push myself up and come onto the other side. Again, I need to make sure back of the head, the tailbone, heels are all in one line. Hips stacked, knees stacked. Slide the top hip bone away. Waist is just lifted. Imaginary string, nose to thumb, taking the arm to the ceiling, and then only moving from the rib cage behind. Keep those knees pressed down onto the floor. Exhale, coming back. Notice your head is moving as well. And exhale. Do one more. Just feel that movement in the upper back, that lovely stretch through the shoulder. And bring it all the way back. Pop your hand onto the floor, press into it and come all the way up. Make sure you don't use the shoulders, coming all the way up. And there you have it, a really quick and simple morning routine for you to do. Practice it every single day so it just becomes so intuitive, so second nature for you. And I promise you, you will really reap the benefits from doing it. Take care.